Welcome to Talking to the Game, and we are back. It's been a long time. Sorry we had to come. This is just a later date. You know, we had to deal with some things that was going on, but we back, and I'm here with my two brothers.
It's your boy Joe Soup. Happy Flag Day to all my Zoes.
Yeah, happy Flag Day to the Haitians, to my guys. KB, back at it.
He not really Haitian though, so
he's just hating. He's just hating because he only speaks English.
I'm not Haitian,
Joe not Haitian, bro.
Oh, no, yeah. It's okay. He's just jealous because he can only speak English. It's okay. It's okay.
it's crazy. I'm more verified than you.
Okay. Okay.
So, we ain't gonna talk about it though.
Whatever helps you get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. More verified than you. It's all good though. I understand. Hey, it happens.
Yeah, whatever.
You're talking to me, so it's okay.
All right.
And we're gonna get right into it. It's been a lot going on, fellas. A lot going on in the sports world, and we're gonna start with the NFL, man. Who wants to start with their division? Their team.
Go. You want to go, Sue, or you want me to go?
You could go. Your division's easier than mine, so you can go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna talk.
No, his division's easier, and with his defense, easier.
I'm gonna talk about my team in my division, the Washington football team in the NFC.
Can we get a name?
Washington football team in the NFC East. We're gonna put some respect on our name. We are a playoff team. Okay. We are a playoff team. Falcons weren't.
Time out.
So, like I said,
are we saying playoffs by like you're actually a good team to make it, or are you saying playoffs because your division sucks?
Guys, you're forgetting the stipulations of the playoffs. Division leader is guaranteed to go. Be the division leader and you go.
But Dak Prescott's back.
Record.
Dak Prescott's back.
Dak who?
He's irrelevant. I'm sorry. The $75 million man. He's okay. I hope he's the same Dak. But let me get to my team, guys. I believe that we actually had a good draft. If I had to rate them, I would give them a B plus A minus. It's about an 89 to about a 92. So they did pretty well. They addressed some key areas. They got some youth at linebacker. They got some youth at safety and some depth in which we very much needed. They made some calls on the day that it was kind of skeptical a little bit, like drafting more O linemen, which was actually good, but they drafted in a position where I thought we actually had some depth at, which was tackle. And but looking at today's news where they actually gave Morgan Moses the opportunity to seek a trade, it kind of starts making sense now. They must see some promise in the young guy that they drafted, who's like 6'7", 315. The boy's a dog. So I'm sorry, that guy's a dog. So I believe that this team, I think we're poised for another playoff run this year, especially defensively. They're going to carry us, especially in the NFC East. Is very offense heavy, I believe, in the NFC East right now. And I think that this defense is poised to stop. And our offense can go too. I'm excited to see what Antonio Gibson is going to be able to do. I'm excited to see what kind of competition our quarterbacks come into for training camp, and see what some of these receivers are looking like as well. We got a stable of running backs and receivers, so I'm not worried offensively, except for that O-line. But defensively, we made some good moves, and I'm very happy to hear it. NFC East, we're number one. I'm just gonna put it that way.
So, do you think y'all gonna have a winning record? 17 games this season. 17 games. Yeah. What you got? What you got yourselves going?
17-10.
So you got what? So you got wins. So you got win this 9 games, be over 500. Yeah, that's easy. But
y'all are not going 9-8.
I'm on this new thing where I'm blocking out negativity. So I'm pushing this back to you. But I will say that my team, I'm looking at a 10-win season. 10-7. 10-7.
Y'all are going 7-10.
10-7.
Maybe 6-11 more like it.
You done? I told you, I'm pushing this negativity back to you, okay?
Oh man.
We're going to be good next year. I really think so. 10-7.
I mean, as long as y'all defense is fine and the offense can actually put up points, I feel like y'all be fine, especially in your
Who's
division.
your quarterback?
Like I said, the quarterback competition going into training camp is going to be very, very entertaining. You must not have heard that part. I said the QB competition. I know we don't have a starting QB yet. I'm
Y'all
interested
gonna find
to see.
somebody. Don't worry about it.
No, we got some guys. I just think that it's
We got some guys.
Yeah, it's interesting to see who's going to develop the most. We still got
Look,
Patrick.
bro, your conference as a whole is like the West of the NBA.
Okay.
So you saying we got some guys, but bro, I promise you, your guys is a first round exit.
I agree with that one. All right.
When
You
you
don't
say
think the
it's
NFC
like the
is
West,
the West of the NBA? NFL, I mean.
Yeah, I don't.
The West is actually good. You know that, right?
The NFC's not good?
The NFC.
Confuse it to your statement.
No. What I'm saying is the NFC conference come playoff time because they got to play the NFC teams. That's a hard schedule for them. Come playoff time.
I think
The
both
NFC
teams have.
conference is the West Conference of the NFL. It's the most difficult one to get through.
I think there's great teams on both sides, so I can't really say it's the West. Nigga, move. I can't really say it's the West. I think they both have good teams on each side, to where where it's like, where in the NBA with the West, it's like you never know who's going to come out of it, but like
it's going to be competition.
Yeah, it's going to be real competition, where the East is more like, okay, this is who you expect to win. Like, it was a shocker to see Miami do what they did last year, but this upcoming around, you don't. You know what I mean? I don't see those type of surprises in the NFL like that. But I see what you're trying to say. I think this year is more of a it's really lopsided in my opinion. I think the NFC South with Tampa Bay, how they just reloaded back the clip, they're going back to the Super Bowl. I don't see a team that's competing with them at all. I think the Saints, on the other hand, they still have the same team, but without Drew Brees and you giving the keys over to Jameis Winston. I want to see if he's going to be that guy, with them having veteran guys on both sides of the field. Michael Thompson, Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Jordan. You still got Malcolm Jenkins. Like, just they're going to be an interesting team. Carolina, both wide receivers play good. You still got Christian McCaffrey. Their quarterback situation is going to be
They got Sammy.
Sam Darnold. I don't
know. We're just gonna see what Darnold can do.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, got to give him a chance. But like I said, two talented wide receivers, running back who's amazing, top 5 easily. They got some pieces to fix up the defense. I do like some of the young core guys that they have on defense as well. Atlanta, on the other hand, we're all offense heavy. So our only problem is defense. Our core for our secondary is, we just have a very young secondary, except for our strong safety, who's the only person that's age 30.
Who's that, Keanu?
Our front four, no, not Keanu. Our front four is just the lack of pressure that we get on the quarterback is very lackluster. So I feel like we us drafting a couple guys, guy from Notre Dame. I don't want to just butcher his name like that. And then who was a defensive end, and then a D tackle from Texas, Taquan Graham. I think that was going to be a good piece. And then we also got a strong safety, second round pick, Richie Grant from UCF, who's going to be a great piece, I think, to fit in with those young core guys like AJ Terrell. And then we also drafted another cornerback, Avery Williams from out of Boise State. We'll see how he's do, 5th round pick. So we always had offense. We always had offense. Offense is not really what we have to worry about. Like Kyle Pitts, he's going to fit into the system very well.
That's going to be scary.
Already with Calvin Ridley and Julio, who's still there.
Julio.
I'm glad that they didn't get rid of him because I was just gonna have to go down for a different team because you just can't get rid of Julio like that.
He's gonna write a strongly
A veteran guy and Matty Ice, who I think is still capable of playing at a high level, just when you don't have a defense and your greatest defense is your offense, that is clearly a problem. I don't see a team that's competing with Tampa Bay other than the Packers. That's if they are able to get Aaron Rodgers back. And Aaron Rodgers, because of his impact on the field, he's able to do and bring to the game, it's just astonishing. So we just have to see if Aaron Rodgers don't play, then it's going to be a clean sweep with no problem for Tampa Bay to return back to the Super Bowl.
You might be right about that. We're gonna talk about the Packers situation in a little bit, but you might be right. I mean, there's no competition in the division right now. I mean, NFC West is gonna be interesting to see how they knock each other off. I think that's gonna be the most competitive division. You know, and that's gonna be really interesting, and as well as the NFC North. But on the AFC wise, you know, Josu, you are AFC expert. What do you see on that side?
Honestly, for our
please,
division,
please, before you go, nothing that will be blessed.
all I say is facts.
Hold on, we didn't take his notes.
All I say is facts.
Please,
okay.
Somebody check his notes.
All right.
Because he gonna end up saying something. Yeah, the Kansas City's gonna get knocked off, and the Colts is in the Super Bowl. What are you talking?
No, Colts not to the Super Bowl for another 2 years. Colts not to the Super Bowl for another 2 years. Our defense still needs work, and we need to add more firepower to our offense.
He's been saying that the past 2 years, but go ahead. You're the AFC guy.
Okay. In our division, the South, we don't have competition unless it's the Titans. I'm not scared of the Jaguars. I don't care that they just got Urban Myers. I don't care that they just drafted Trevor Lawrence. And I don't care that they got Tim Tebow as tight ends. I don't care.
I don't care you got Tim Tebow. What?
No, I don't care because it's the first year. What are you going to do your first year? You're still building chemistry. You don't have it together yet. So I'm not worried about you just now. I'm not. Y'all went 1-16. Y'all went 1-15 just last season. Y'all went on a 15 game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
We were the only team y'all beat week 1. After that, loss.
You should be ashamed.
Loss.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all lost every game.
We
y'all? Came back and split the series at the last game of the season. All right. So I'm not worried about y'all. I'm worried about the Titans. I'm worried about the Titans because they gave us competition last season. But I'm saying we can definitely win our division. I like the pieces that we picked up. But I do only have one problem. Chris Ballard is too focused on our defense. I'm not saying don't build a defense, but at the same time, we need more offensive firepower. At tight end, we only have Jack Doyle. You know, Mo Ali Cox is a little slow. He still got hands, but we're gonna need somebody faster. You know, we're still looking at wide receivers. You know, T.Y. Hilton is good, but we still got to have somebody to back him up. Michael Pittman is gonna be a great number 2. We're gonna need a great slot receiver. You know. We're doing well, but we got to focus on both ends of the ball. So I'm saying us having Carson Wentz, that's gonna do good for us. But like I said, this is our first year together. So I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. No, we're not going to the Super Bowl just yet, but we're gonna be 11-6. Yeah, we're gonna be 11-6. And anybody else in the AFC, I don't know who's going to make it, but I know it's not going to be the Chiefs.
Who's it going to be?
Not sure yet. You got to see how the season plays out, but I know the Chiefs are not going to make it.
I have no reason to doubt why they won't make it.
I'm just wondering, what's your reason why they wouldn't be? Like, I don't care if they would, like if they do go, but like why do you think that they wouldn't be able
especially after they just tighten up the offensive line?
Bro, they have no more momentum.
They ain't had no momentum the first year.
Huh?
They ain't had no momentum the first year for real.
No, they had a little more to prove. They had a little more to prove. And if they really had momentum, they would have proved it this year because the cards was really on their side. They just came off of the Super Bowl win. You know, they just came from beating the Bills by 2 scores. You know, everybody projected them to actually win the game. But what happened? They got dogged. They
So
barely they couldn't even score 2 touchdowns, only 9 points.
so who does have momentum?
Right
In
now,
the
the
AFC.
AFC's a toss-up.
So why would
Really?
you think that the best team in the AFC right now would not be, or at least the last person to prove that they were the best team in the AFC? Why wouldn't you have them, mostly in the front of your mind when it comes to predictions for next year?
Because
I don't
teams
think
actually
the
make
Browns
sneaky
are close.
moves. There's you didn't expect the Chiefs to make it to the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. You didn't expect that.
Yeah, but now that they have, I can only go off what has happened now. They've made it
Exactly. And
2 years
that's
in a
cool.
row.
You can go off of that. You can go off of that, but you can't sleep on the other teams in the AFC that are actually making the moves that they can do what they can do to
So
dethrone the Chiefs.
again,
The Chiefs
who
aren't
has
going to make it
momentum?
back.
So the question is, who has momentum? Who has the momentum that the Chiefs don't? Because at
Right
this
now,
point, if it's a level playing field, then I'll probably take Mahomes.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know.
If
I
it's a
don't know.
level playing field and it's a toss-up, I'm taking Mahomes.
Who made moves for you to even question that they
The Browns made some good moves. I will say
the
that.
throne?
The Browns can do it. I
they-
feel like the Bills, because the Bills have a lot to prove compared to how they just lost to the Chiefs last season in the championship game. They
So how
have a
do
lot
they
to
have
prove
momentum?
too. They
So
got
how
a
do they
chip
have
on their
momentum?
shoulder.
But do they have momentum?
Oh yeah,
What momentum? They just lost.
that
They
could be
lost.
momentum
They
enough,
lost.
but no.
No.
Hold on. And
They
they
lost.
barely lost that.
It don't matter. They lost.
I mean,
The
I get
season
that.
was ended that day.
I
Just
get that.
same as the Chiefs season was ended in the Super Bowl.
I get
Just
that.
like you said, no, you said it right the first time. If it's a toss, like if Mahomes don't have it, it's a toss up, and I'm still taking Mahomes because he's the best quarterback in the AFC.
I don't know. I'm not saying
Better.
he's the best quarterback in the AFC, but I'm saying the Chiefs are not going to go back because other teams can actually prove that they can dethrone them.
No, I don't. I
What
wouldn't even address
team
it.
proved that they could dethrone them? They won it back to back.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is like, it doesn't matter if they do
Coming
win it or not. I just want to know why you think that they won't. Instead of that was my whole question. But all right. I mean, hey man, I respect
Each his
it.
own.
Yeah. All right, man.
I mean, I don't see nobody beating them in the AFC.
A healthy Chiefs team, especially a healthy Chiefs defense.
A healthy Bills defense is better than a healthy Chiefs defense.
It doesn't matter. You got to stop Mahomes. They just proved that they won.
Therefore.
Once you already win, you know you can't say anything. You can't say we would have had you at the.
But the thing is,
we would have had you. We were this close. You lost.
the thing is, that was last season. All right. If you beat the team again, then that just proves that Mahomes has their number. But they have a lot to prove. They can actually show what they can do because that defense actually is a problem. Finish top 15. That's a top 15 defense. Still has a little few things to work on, but top 15 defense with a number 2 offense. They have a lot to prove, and they actually can show that they can keep it toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. There was literally one game away.
So keeping toe-to-toe, keeping toe-to-toe versus somebody versus beating them is 2 totally different things. It doesn't matter. If a fight going to the end and to the hitting the end of the 12th round is different than getting knocked out in the 11th round or something like that. Like it's different getting knocked out. Like you lost. Doesn't matter if it was close.
And you can come back and get the victory.
Okay, so my question is just why don't you think the Chiefs have some of the same momentum, especially losing the Super Bowl? Like
you don't think they have something to prove after losing the Super Bowl?
That wasn't.
I mean, they should have proven who they are last season. They should have proven who they were last season.
They had though. Think about the.
Well, technically, they didn't have to prove anything. We thought we thought who they are, who we thought they are.
I know what you were saying. I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
They are who we thought they are. Tom. They are who we thought they are. They made it to back-to-back Super Bowls.
But everybody expected them to win it because
regardless if they win it or not, to go back-to-back, to be 1-1 is hard to do.
I mean,
There's quite a few teams who actually did win.
The last
Yeah, when you say quite a
that was the
few,
one that
it's
he was
not a
facing.
lot. It's hard to win back to back.
I understand that.
So
most teams after, say for example, they win one, come back, which not a lot of teams can do, go to back-to-back Super Bowls. But using the last two teams to do that, they both ended up in losses and haven't been able to go back.
but
And everybody expected them to go back to this. Not even expected them. Everybody was like, "Nah, this is the team to beat. Nobody's gonna be able to beat them." But yet they got dethroned. Using Seattle as an example,
the fact that they
right before the Chiefs went back to back, Seattle was the last team to go back to back in the Super Bowl. And then what happened?
Once they split up the Legion of Boom, I knew that was
LOB was in that Super Bowl though.
But I'm saying once they split them up, I knew they wasn't going back to back anymore.
The fact is, the Chiefs during that game, one, they was at a huge disadvantage because technically they were playing an away game, not a neutral game. It makes a big difference because that game was in Tampa.
I understand what you're saying.
So for one, they was at a disadvantage. But two, I believe that they have even more to prove because now they actually had to live up to standards. They didn't do it for the first time in a few years, and now they got to come back because they fell from grace. So I think that they have a lot more to prove than the underdog Bills right now. I think the Bills will have a great season, but I don't think that they're going to do better than the Chiefs from a motivation side.
Yeah,
I don't know, because the way the game ended with the Bills and the Chiefs were more on the taunting side, like, "Ha, we're the best team in the AFC. Y'all can't beat us."
Because they
You think the Bills are gonna forget that? You saw how Stephon Diggs was reacting towards the end of the game. Players don't forget things like that.
Did they not win?
That's not the point. Whether they won or not.
No, that's the point though, because the best team
the Bills are not gonna forget what happened. They're not gonna forget what happened. They're gonna come back and they're gonna prove them wrong.
That's cool, but
in
you
the
don't
regular
think that
season,
the Chiefs are going to do the same thing because they lost in the Super Bowl, not the AFC Championship, not the divisional games, not the wild card, the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
The last game of the season.
He's talking about the conference.
Which one gives you? Let me ask you a question. Which one gives you more motivation to come back next year? Losing in the championship or losing in a semifinal?
Losing in the semi because I was so close to the championship and I lost. I barely lost. I barely lost. No,
you did not say that with your chest.
Yes, I did. Because I'm gonna stand by what I said.
Wow.
You can't
stand by what I said.
I am
stand by what I said.
I am flabbergasted I lost in the semifinal.
Because the Chiefs were not humble. They were not humble. They were taunting.
Like, really?
That's the argument we're using.
I'm telling you, just watch. You might not believe me now, but I am not crazy.
They weren't humble?
I'm not crazy. I promise you.
Because they won a semifinal game.
Because you're telling me I'm that close. And no.
But you weren't close.
No.
One, all right.
There's just no way you think the Bills have momentum. But hey, to each his own. To each its own.
I don't believe him with this last game, but all right.
That's fine. But just watch. The Bills, the Colts, the Titans, the Ravens, they can all fight for that champion for the AFC. They all will give the Chiefs a chance to fight for that title. I promise you.
You heard him throw the Colts in there, like the way he led them in there. The Bills, the Colts, the Titans.
Finished with the top 10 defense last season. Finished with a top 7 offense, and now we have a valid quarterback. Who's familiar with our head coach, and our head coach has not had a solid quarterback.
So question.
He has not.
You did all that, top 10 defense, top, pretty good in scoring. What did y'all do in the playoffs?
We had Phillip Rivers. What do you think we're gonna do?
Oh, I didn't ask that. I asked you, what did you do in the playoffs? Because he got you to he led your offense to get those stats. So the question is, what did your team do? I don't care about did he shit the bed in the damn playoff, because he got y'all all the way there. I didn't hear no complaints about Phillip Rivers.
Nobody doesn't complain when everything's good. Nobody can
Yeah.
everything's good.
Oh,
I don't care. I don't care.
I am the most realistic Colts fan you will ever see. The second we signed Phillip Rivers, I knew we were getting dusted in the first round.
So the question is, what did your team do in the playoffs?
What did we do in the playoffs? We gave the Bills a work for their money, losing by 3 points. But because our quarterback at the time has lived up to his reputation of folding when the game is on the line, we lost.
So what do you think this current
back-to-back
QB is going to do?
incomplete passes right when we needed, when we needed a completion.
QB is going to do?
What is Carson Wentz going to do?
You're getting the same QB.
Not at all.
He's just faster.
Not at all. We're not getting the same type. No. Carson Wentz and Phillip Rivers are not the same quarterback.
Dude, watch their throws, bro. Watch how they maneuver in the pocket. Like,
I have
similar quarterbacks, dude.
I have.
And this similar quarterback, Carson Wentz is just more of an athlete.
Why are we talking about the Colts? Why are we talking about the Colts like they?
Because I'm just confused as to his optimism. It's really interesting.
He's a guy of
that
hope.
I name have a chance to making it out of the AFC.
He's a guy of hope. Okay, you gotta understand. Look at the hope in his eyes.
I respect it, man. Hey,
all right.
That's a good trait. I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna put like if anybody asks me, yo, what about Josu? Like if I had to do a letter recommendation, I'm gonna put in the
guy of hope.
This is a guy with hope.
Yo, I'm telling you,
optimism.
The Ravens, the Bills, they have a chance of making it out of the AFC.
Like
they do. We signed Eric Fisher. We signed Eric Fisher, although he was just coming off of an injury, so it may not help us. We still got to pay attention to that. We drafted a nice little edge, you know what I'm saying? Because we lost a few players. We lost a few players off of our great defense to other teams. Anthony Walker to the Browns. You know, we lost one of our D linemen to the Titans. You know, we lost a few pieces, so we was able to replace it. But our defense is still young, which is why I'm giving us 2 to 3 years. It's Carson Wentz's first year with his offense that we're still building. But we have a chance, a higher chance than last season to make it out.
With Carson Wentz as a QB.
Anywho.
All right. I'm telling you.
Good luck.
Carson Wentz has a better O-line with us than he did with the Eagles.
Good luck, buddy.
Good luck. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Phillip Rivers only got sacked. Phillip Rivers got sacked less than 20 times.
Jeez, I said good luck. I don't see why you get mad.
Because he's a guy of optimism. He's a guy of hope.
Just watch.
He doesn't want the Kansas City Chiefs to come back out. Okay.
I don't have a problem with the Chiefs. I don't. But
you still can't give me a solid reason why they're not the favorite.
Okay. I gave you the Ravens. I gave you the Colts. I gave you the Bills. Those are all teams with top 10 offenses, top 15 defenses that can actually give the Chiefs a run for their money and make it out of the AFC.
So is that the reason?
Okay, out of 2 of those 3 teams, right? Out of 2 of those 3 teams. First of all, didn't they play all 3 of those teams during the season?
All 3 of those teams.
Regular season doesn't matter. I don't care what you say about regular season.
That's cool. That's cool. So they beat them in the regular season, and then they beat them in the playoffs.
We didn't play the Chiefs in the regular season last year.
Y'all didn't play the Chiefs?
We played the Chiefs was 2018, but I was with luck. And yeah, there was a better team then.
Okay. So the Bills beat the Colts
by 3.
And
by 3
to Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs.
The Bills beat us by 3. Beat the Ravens. The Ravens doesn't have any or more offensive firepower. All they had was Hollywood, and Hollywood was dropping passes.
We're getting there.
So the team is still a little incomplete off of last season, but they're doing what they can. They're signing wide receivers. They're trying to fix that offense so they can make it out because they have great superstar quarterback in Lamar.
Let's start with the Ravens.
They're trying to do something, but they haven't done it. So really, can
you don't know what they're gonna do?
Why do you have such confidence in them?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You don't know what they're going to do. You don't even know.
Look.
We know what the Chiefs can do.
He can't tell you. He literally
I can't
tell you. Okay, so tell me, what improvement have they done to their offense?
Well, one, adding more wide receivers because that's exactly what they were lacking.
Who are the wide receivers? Is that I want to know.
And also, what have they done with them to show you that they're poised to have a good year this year? That if you haven't seen them,
listen. Until the season starts,
you got to go with the best team, right?
Starts, right?
You got to go with the best team, right?
I guess this is me being optimistic.
You got to be delusional.
When you're actually signing players in the areas that you lacked in, you're looking for you're trying to improve, you're trying to build. That's great. So now we're gonna see what you're gonna do. You still have key pieces. You still have key pieces already on that team. That's gonna take you to the postseason. So now you're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next step.
So the fact is, you don't know what they can do for you because you're hoping that they can make a big difference. The Ravens hope that Dez Bryant could have made a big difference and pushed them over the hump.
Dez Bryant was old.
No, he is not. He is 28 years old.
Oh, bro, Dez Bryant's not
old.
Dez Bryant's not the same.
I want to sit here.
And they hardly utilized him. That's two.
He played one game with them.
And
what I'm saying is this: until you see,
I think he scored that one game, by the way.
I think he did. He had like 3 catches or something like that. What I'm saying is this: until you see them put it together on a field, you have to go with what you've seen. And right now, I don't know if anybody is challenging that team in Kansas City. There's nobody on the roster right now that you can be like, okay, they play well together. They feed off of each other together. Because I promise you, if you're talking about that many receivers that are coming into Baltimore or coming into these teams, that's going to make these teams better, it's going to take at least 6 or 7 games for them to gel in game with a quarterback. That's 6 or 7 games that you've now put in jeopardy because of being able to mess with your quarterback. Now you have a quarterback that's already in,
can do it too.
But you've already have a quarterback that's already entrenched in everything. Your receivers stayed the same. They're good. All they did was beef up their O-line and then they helped their defense. Why don't you think that the team that has the most experience together and that has proven to be the best team in that
for 2 consecutive seasons?
2 consecutive seasons. Why don't you think it's like, bro, like y'all the motherfuckers in the 90s that was hating on the Bulls that was trying to get these 3-peats. That was like, nah, I think the Supersonics gonna come out this year. Yeah, I think they
do something. Something.
I think Charlotte got enough this year. You know,
I think Michael Jordan is not the best player this year. And then
because Jordan he had a little mess up last year in the finals. Like, nah, like
I mean, that's fine.
Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I'm not sleeping on Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sleeping on him. But I'm saying there are teams that are going to fight. There's teams that are going to be hungry, like the teams I named, so they can dethrone them.
Why don't you think the other team, the Chiefs, is hungry enough to defend themselves?
I mean, they can defend. Like I said,
like, why are you discounting their passion?
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Why are you discounting them then?
I'm not discounting them.
You just said they're not going to make it.
I know they're not going to make it. I know, but I'm saying they're still going to be a threat. They're still going to make it to the AFC Championship because they're a great team. They're a great team. They have proven that the AFC is theirs, but there's a lot of other teams that we can't say, oh, yeah, the Chiefs are just going to blow past them.
I literally named all the teams that they're going to blow past. The only team that could play with them, like you said, play with them, is the Bills, and that's just for a good game. And I still think they're going to beat the Bills as they already did.
We will see.
Like everything you're saying, they already proven.
I mean, that's fine.
They have to reestablish the foundation.
It's a new season. A new season, new things happen. Just wait. Just wait.
Okay.
Confidence in the other teams that's baffling me. That's all.
Let's switch over to the NBA. Because obviously we're gonna have to disagree. We're gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
That's these playing games. How do y'all honestly feel about these playing games? Do y'all think it adds value, or exactly what do you think?
So you go first in this one. I went first.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
For
like
me, I don't think. For me, I just think I don't particularly like it. I feel as though it should be like if it's gonna be playing games, let the 7th seed play the 10th seed, let the 8th seed play the 9th seed, and then we rock like that. I don't think it should be like the 7 and 8 seed and then a double elimination. I feel like that's totally unnecessary. I just think like it should just be a cool little balance. Hurry up, get these games out the way, and then we just move on.
That'd have been interesting.
Honestly, it was kind of interesting to hear LeBron say something about the playing game for the simple fact he talking about somebody should be fired whoever came up with the system because there was no complaints when you weren't in the playing game. Now it's a complaint. I just don't like that.
No,
Don't sit here and speak up when it's not favoring you, but when it is, it's like you can stay quiet about it.
well, I think he was frustrated because he wasn't playing and he couldn't help his team out of that situation for real because he missed like almost 30 games. But my biased opinion, because I'm a Wizards fan, I like the playing game because it gave us opportunity. But unbiased, I would take the top 8. You just, if you're going to do 72 games, it's 72 games or whatever, but you take the top 8 seeds. You know what I mean? It's not there's no, I don't understand the reason for the playing game.
Me too. I don't either. That's my other thing. Like,
just add 2 extra
do the
games.
top 8.
I
like
mean,
we don't have to do all these extra games.
Just add 2 games. Like, what's the point of having 72 games? Just add 2 games for everybody, and then take the top 8. I didn't understand that, but
I mean, I don't know, because like for me, I don't hate the idea, but I don't love it at the same time. But it's like for me, comparing last postseason to like this postseason, I would say like watching the Pistons because they finished top 8. It wasn't that fun to watch because that team wasn't even stacked. It's like I want to watch NBA playoffs for excitement, but I'm watching the Pistons get swept, and that's not really fun to watch. So I guess for them,
blame them other teams.
It's just like to add to see who's actually gonna fight more. I guess. Like I said, I don't love the idea of a play-in team, but at the same time, as a fan, you don't really want to watch teams that are horrible in the postseason because the East tends to have like a reputation of having bad teams in the postseason, and it's just like the first round is too easy, and it just goes by fast because the bottom teams suck. They're horrible.
Well, don't you think that will eliminate that if they take the top 8 seed? I mean, the top 8 seeds, because you're potentially allowing a 9th seed or a 10th seed to get into the playoffs.
That's the issue there.
So then it would be a sweep regardless of who plays.
I mean, based off of the standings right over here, the 9th and 10th seed, yeah, like you said, the whole season, Charlotte is fun to watch. It would have been fun to watch Charlotte. But then, like, watching
you don't
the
think
Wizards,
they
watching
got
the Celtics, the Celtics didn't live up to their expectation, you know? So
but I would still like to see
okay. It would have been okay to watch, but it wouldn't have been fun to watch. No offense, Kenny. It would have been fun to watch the Wizards against the Sixers. It wouldn't have been that fun to watch.
Why wouldn't it?
What do you mean, why wouldn't it?
No, I'm interested, like, some of these 1 and 8 seeds actually be some of the more exciting series. Because you're 8 seed, you got a lot more to prove. You're playing a 1 seed, unless it's just a train wreck and you just got a top heavy conference. If you got talent, on your team, your talent is gonna show.
I would actually like to watch
that much talent though on the Wizards though.
I would actually like to watch the Wizards versus the Celtics. I mean not the Celtics, but the Sixers. I think the Wizards actually have a good chance of beating the
Bro, I promise not now. No, they'll get like a good 1 game.
You want to watch the Spurs? You want to watch the Spurs versus the Suns?
Bro, listen.
The question is, do you want to watch the Spurs versus the Suns?
The Spurs are the 10th seed.
Do you want to watch the Spurs versus the Suns?
I don't want to watch the Spurs at all.
All right, then.
We don't have the firepower to be in this tournament.
But that's what the playoff tournament do, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Or 9th seed to get in.
The Spurs haven't even been like a competitive team the last 2 seasons. The first time under Popovich's watch, they have been under 500 towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
But this is what a play-in tournament allows, though. It allows
bro, I promise you, if they were the 8th seed, watching them against Utah, that's a sweep.
But that's only if they're taking the top 8 seeds. if we're talking about this playing tournament, which possibly allows them because it's a 1-game series.
They're gonna lose to the Grizzlies.
If it's a 1-game series and it comes down to a final shot, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like they get into the playoffs.
If
So
and they lost their last 2 games.
So what?
What do you mean? So what? You're going to have a chance. You're going to the tournament off of 2 losses.
You can't win one.
That's the playoff. That's the playing tournament. If they able to just top 8 seeds, we don't have to watch the 9th and 10th team.
Exactly. Like we don't even have to think about.
That's why I don't.
They're not good
really
enough
agree.
to make it to the top 8 seed. I promise you, they're not good enough.
So the fact is that
it allows for other teams to come in, so you don't got to see teams like Detroit get swept. I just think like the playing tournament itself is whack. But as you can see, like we have a couple games going on where the Pacers like demolished the Hornets, and then we have the Wizards versus the Celtics today, and I think that's going to be a good game.
It's playing now.
Yep.
188 right now.
Whose way?
Boston.
Wizards?
No, Boston. 7 minutes.
I honestly
not surprised.
I honestly would like to see the Celtics win so they could secure the 7th seed. And I would like for the Wizards. I think if the Wizards get the 8th seed instead of the 7th seed, because the fact that Brooklyn Nets are number 2, if the Wizards play the Sixers, that's going to be interesting.
But the Wizards aren't going to win.
It doesn't matter if we win.
The thing is,
if you take them to 6 games, it's a good look.
This is the thing. This is the thing with the Wizards. The Wizards play no defense, correct? But they score a lot.
You don't have a top defender. You have
score
offensive firepower.
So not a lot of teams have top defenders, dude. Like,
listen.
Top defenders are not. Defense is not legit.
Listen.
I'm gonna address that.
If they was to go to 7th, if they was to go to 7th seed, they would play the Brooklyn Nets, which is a team who scores a lot. Because the Wizards will have to outscore the Brooklyn Nets, it's not going to work. Where you can play somebody like the Sixers, who they can outscore the Sixers.
You only got a couple people scoring.
Got a chance. I really do with Russell and Brody, and just to outscore the Sixers in a 7-game series. If they win 1 or 2 early, it's going to be a long series, especially if these games are high-scoring games, because every time I look at a Wizards game, it's like 130, 140, maybe 150 points. It's like an all-star game. They're going to have to score with the Wizards. And the Wizards put up points.
That's why they're dangerous.
Yeah, but if you're playing a team like Brooklyn Nets, I don't think the Wizards can outscore.
Yeah, you can't go clip for clip with that team.
Yeah, but the team like the Sixers, where they have to rely on Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons to score, like you're going to get Joel Embiid 30 easy. But
Tobias is going to give you 25.
Who?
Tobias.
Out of 6 games, he'll give you 3 good ones.
I'm just not high.
Danny Green will give
honestly.
you.
I didn't see him as an all-star because I didn't want to see him as an all-star. He's not an all-star talent to me. He's a good 4th string player. I mean, not 4th string, but he's a good 4th option player. He's just not really one of those pieces where, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, you got 20, okay, that's a good game for you. He's one of those guys to me. But at the Joel Embiid, like, I guess your best scorer is who?
Supposed to be Ben Simmons.
Supposed to be, right? It just
that first guy is your best scorer, your second best scorer.
No, that's hard when you got Bill putting up 30 and then you got Walker triple-double himself, Mr. Triple-double himself. So if I see them play each other, I think that would be a better fit. Now over in the West to see Golden State play the Lakers, like
Lakers are winning that
one game.
I don't know. That's gonna be tough.
In the 7-game series, I'm going Lakers every day. But the simple fact that it's
AD and LeBron are back.
Yeah,
just to sit here and just to see it's a round robin one.
Only Steph, bro.
But you got to think it's a double elimination. they're going to make the playoffs. Both teams. It's a double elimination regardless because it's like they're not the 9th or the 10th. Whoever they play in the 9th or 10th seed, they're going to beat.
The Lakers are gonna win, become the 7th seed. Golden State's gonna fight for the 8th seed against the Grizzlies. Golden State's gonna be the 8th seed.
It's gonna be interesting.
You think Golden State is going to lose to the Grizzlies?
I said Golden State is the 8th seed.
So you're saying they're gonna beat the Grizzlies but lose to the Lakers?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, you said the Lakers is going to beat Golden State, and then Golden State, I guess, because they got a double elimination, like they have another chance. They're going to have to beat the Grizzlies.
Yeah, they're going to have to beat the Grizzlies to get the 8th seed.
You don't? Oh, you think they're going to beat them or not?
They are going to be the 8th seed. They're going to beat the Grizzlies.
I think after that, you know, they lose in the 6 or 5 games to Utah.
Yeah.
I think the Suns take the Lakers to 6.
But the Suns are going to lose.
Yeah, they take the Lakers to 6, but they lose.
Yeah.
Who's third? The Nuggets?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I think the Nuggets, yeah.
But Lakers play Portland, out the West, right? Man. Lakers out the West.
The Nuggets play Portland, right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Portland's winning that one.
Depending on how they play Dame, and depending on actually, I'm gonna just say Dame because CJ's really gonna be irrelevant.
Yeah, but
this man does not like CJ McCollum at all.
They ain't got no guard play that can match Dame Lillard like that though. Like Gary Harris.
But you gotta understand that he would go for 60 and they'll still lose.
Isn't Jamal Murray out too?
He's out for the season.
Yeah. I was about to say
he's a Joker.
Yeah, Joker's been their main scorer.
It's not that I don't like CJ. CJ just not
consistent.
He's like
that's my dog, but he ain't consistent.
Yeah, it's like
they're not gonna go far.
I used to compare him with Bradley Beal, and then Bradley Beal just like completely like separated the gap. Like he's
a great number 2, but he's not gonna go down as one of the greatest number 2s. He'll finish top 50 number 2s of all time.
As a Batman and Robin, yeah, I can see him finishing top 100 maybe, or top
100, top 100 2 guards.
No,
I'm putting him at 50.
Top 50
as a shooting guard?
Yeah.
Dog, that is way too low. Top 50?
What would you put him?
I'm probably going top 30, top 35.
As a 2 guard?
Bro, think about the 2 guards. Like, give me 34 2 guards better than him. 34.
If I could look at names, I could definitely give you 34 2 guards better than him.
We'll talk on the side. But I'll look, I think that the ability that he has, not always versus the numbers. I don't always look at the numbers. I think I look at ability as well and potential. I think CJ has a very high ceiling for him being his size with his creativity, with his ability and what he has shown and the potential for what he's shown.
I think his ceiling is already hit. He's not going to get no better.
I'm saying, but whether he's made the shot or missed the shot, the ability to get the shot off or to do whatever he needs to do, I think that his ability can take him at least top 30. Can take him top 35.
Oh man, you're very high on him.
I don't know, bro. I'm looking at these 2 guards, and I don't know.
You
got Clyde Drexler, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen,
top
15 James Harden, the Iceman.
Top 15 is out. I'm not talking about top 15. 20 other 2 guards, ability and plus potential.
I can name some in the league right now that he's not better than.
But 20. Give me 20.
No, he's not better than Bradley.
He's not better than.
Let's see.
I can't give you now. I'm talking about this is for on the side.
Okay. But I'm just all right.
Okay. We'll talk about 20 names.
That's cool.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
You can't say Buddy Hield. No. But no, I wouldn't. But let's move on.
I just think the playing game is interesting. I think we're going to see. I can't tell you who's going to make it out the playoffs this year. I would never count a LeBron James team out. I think the Lakers going to come out this year.
Of course.
I think the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they will part ways because they're not able to live up to expectations. I after this season, if they don't make it to the championship, if they don't make it to the NBA Finals, they part ways, or they at least don't make it to the Western Conference, they part ways.
I think leaves. Yeah. They already signed Paul George.
If they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, because it's supposed to be Lakers and Clippers this year. If they don't make it, then they might they might try one more. They might try one more year. If not, they're definitely gonna get rid of Paul George.
On paper,
Paul George is already under contract.
On paper, they look like the best team. I mean, one of the best teams, honestly.
Yeah, but paper don't matter though.
No, but on paper they look good. But the fact is, Paul George is their real cornerstone.
Yeah, they did sign him.
I remember that.
They signed him before, like,
but toe to toe, Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. Okay, the two of you, say you own the Clippers, right? Are you really gonna give it to Paul or Kawhi?
To be honest with you, I might give it to Paul. To be honest with you,
Kawhi's a better defender and a better offensive scorer.
I don't care, but he ain't no better leader. He might be good on defense, but
and on offense.
Yeah, he's good. Like, come on. I mean,
bro,
I honestly think if they stay together, they're gonna get one.
The only player that is better two-way is Kevin Durant when he's healthy. Can you name me anybody else who's a better two-way player right now in the league than Kawhi?
You're asking me to get who am I giving?
I honestly don't think Kevin Durant is a great two-way player.
Healthy
either.
He just became, if he even is a two-way player, he just became a two-way player on his last year in Golden State.
I like Jimmy Butler as one of the best two-way players, if I'm being honest.
Nah, bro, because Jimmy Butler turns it on too late.
That doesn't.
No. That doesn't matter. The fact is that he has the ability to do it on both sides.
Yeah,
he has the ability, but if you're Kawhi's not gonna wait till his fourth quarter with 5 minutes left to turn it on.
You're right, because he doesn't turn it on
when it's 13 minutes left in the first quarter.
Because the fact is that Kawhi Leonard either doesn't play those games because it's the second half of a back-to-back, or it's because that he is shooting 4 for 17 in the fourth quarter.
He only had to jacket that much because he didn't really have a point guard.
No. We're not going to change. That's not it. That's not the reason why.
It's not why.
That is not the reason why.
Missing.
The reason is because him and Paul George are missing shots. All right, they're missing shots. That's it. Whether you have a point guard passing you the ball, you got LeBron James, who is technically not a point guard passing you the ball. Whoever's passing you the ball, you knock down the shot. I don't care who is passing you the ball. They missed 13 plus shots. Both of them.
That's no excuse.
I mean, I get that. That's what I'm saying. They might give it one more year with the Clippers. They might.
I think if they stay together, Paul George and Kawhi get one. That's me.
You think if they stay together, but they have to add more pieces though.
How many more pieces? They were called a championship team last year.
Because of the two superstars that they signed. I think the team that they have this year, they can do it. Maybe I would get like if they would have got like a JaVale McGee or somebody like that.
That might have been perfect.
Yeah.
Kevin Will.
They don't need nobody crazy. Like if they would have went and got Andre Drummond, who would have fit.
That would have been way better.
Yeah. Oh. I think it would have just been a better fit for them if they would have grabbed one of those two pieces, honestly.
But I kind of feel like if they tried to get Andre Drummond probably wouldn't go for it because he knows like he has a better chance of winning it with LeBron and AD than the Clippers. The Clippers don't really have a big man that they can rely on.
You can't count a Lakers team out with LeBron.
Exactly.
With LeBron, you can't really count out. That's why I'm not particularly worried about them finishing wherever they finish, because regardless of where they finish, they're going to be a problem. Regardless of
the Lakers are going back to back. I really don't see a team that's going to stop LeBron and AD, who drops 30 on a nightly basis. And LeBron drops 30 because he's LeBron and he can do it.
I think they're going to go back to back just for the simple fact that Andre Drummond came into play. I think that's going to be the X factor. I don't particularly see Brooklyn Nets winning it all.
No.
I see them getting there, though, because I don't think a team going to beat them other than Miami Heat if they play like they did last year. If we see Miami Heat of last year, then that would be the best team that can beat the Nets. But if we don't, I don't see a team in the East that's stopping them. Milwaukee is the same Milwaukee every year.
Yeah.
No high hopes. Even with the addition of Drew Holiday, I think he's a good addition. Nevertheless, but he's just not that key.
Not the point guard they need.
I don't think it's not the point guard. It's just the team itself is just like,
yeah, they still got a lot to do.
It's like
they have a cool backup with Robin Lopez, but
I don't think Giannis is the superstar that we think he is.
I've been saying that for like 3 years, bro. Like he is
like it's been
athlete.
It's not
he's a fucking athlete.
He's pretty okay. I'm not gonna go off the bat and say I'm not gonna completely disagree with you, but I am gonna give him his props. He has proven to be consistent
as a regular season guy.
Huh?
As a regular season guy.
Of course. There's players who are just regular season players. But I have seen Giannis working on his jump shot. He's starting to drain him a little more. And all they need to do is just add a little more pieces. So when Giannis is starting to get strapped, he can dish the ball out to other players who are going to be consistent just like he is. Then Milwaukee will be a competition or a threat.
I think Chris Middleton, he plays better when Giannis is not there. He doesn't play as well as when Giannis is there. I don't know why. It seems like every time Giannis is out, he's going for 30, 40 points. But when
he's no longer their main scorer. When Giannis is there, Giannis is the number one guy. But when Chris Middleton is there, he's like, all right, now I gotta step up.
You kind of gotta understand, like, those are your offensive weapons. Just like how Kobe and Shaq was both getting 30. I need 30 from Chris Middleton. That's one. Second, Giannis has to get a jump shot. Like, it's just no ifs, ands, or buts around it. Like his lackluster like shooting is really what's killing them. People are playing off of him, and he's not even able to hit the free throw jump shot. Like, even if you're hitting that free throw jump shot or you're hitting that 17, 18 footer, like, you're good. But the fact that he's not able to do that is just a problem. And just like James Harden, like, to me, he was just a regular season guy. Then he goes to the Brooklyn Nets. Now you have two guys who are going to perform in the playoffs, like Kyrie and Kevin Durant. So one, it takes the pressure off you. Two, everything is not about you. It's easier for you to have a bad night and knowing that you have a guy like Kyrie and KD who already have proven themselves in the playoff teams. And I mean, have proven themselves in the playoffs with multiple different teams.
No, for sure. I definitely think, and I think that's one of the reasons why they thought that the move, or that the alignment of the stars to get those three guys together was kind of just like, it was too good, just because now it's like you can't see the full range of somebody like James Harden. Like, seeing him go for 50 and 7 straight games in a playoff series would have been great to see. But now you get to see him more in a facilitator role, and he'll be more laid back, just trying to get those other guys rolling, try to get the rhythm going, because he realizes his shortcomings as a player. But if in a different circumstance, like if he was back in Houston, he'll be doing his thing, but it's good to see, another side of him, and feeding Kyrie, feeding KD, and feeding those playoff machines, because once both of those guys get into the playoff when healthy, they're lethal. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that real dynamic, because this is real go time right now.
And the crazy part is we still haven't seen like that team together. And that's the scary part, because we don't know exactly what we're going to get when we see all three of them on the floor.
They all have to be healthy though.
And that's the other beauty of the trade. The fact that I don't like the trade, but it did benefit them for the simple fact that the rotation of it was just so crazy. Like, you just see James Harden and Kyrie, then you see James Harden and Kevin Durant. The next thing you know is Kevin Durant and Kyrie. You never see all three of them on the floor, but you see two of them, and they are hooping. Or you would just see one. You would just see James Harden, and he's hooping. And then Kyrie, and he's hooping, and these guys like Joe Harris, and you got
Jeff Green,
and just players like Jeff Green would start balling, and then Blake Griffin be balling, and Shamit you would see come out of the woodwork with points. It was just a beauty to see, and you're like, yo, what is this team doing? Because it's like, what happens when all three of these guys come back? And you still don't even know. Not to mention, you have a Kyrie who just made it to the 40, 50, 90 club. Like, you have two 40, 50, 90 guys.
That's crazy. That is bonkers.
He's playing his best basketball that I ever seen him play. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen this Kyrie ever.
Kyrie got a chip on his shoulder.
Huh?
I think it's because he's protected now. Because he's always said that he wanted to lead a team, ever since he was young, especially being in the Cavaliers. Then he got a chance to learn how to be a leader. He kind of rejected that, and he decided he was ready. He moved on to Boston and tried. It didn't work out for him. Then he went to his first year in Brooklyn, and it was kind of the same thing. But as far as like, now he gets two other guys, he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy anymore, or the leader. He can still be a hooper, but he doesn't have to be the guy. And now he can just have fun. I think that's a pressure thing with him.
The thing about the Boston situation, when Gordon Hayward got hurt, everything messed up.
Yeah, but you still had 3 all-star caliber guys on that one team.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't become them guys with Kyrie there.
It's a tough one.
He just don't become them guys. I'm sorry. First, because how good Kyrie was. So who the ball's going to down the stretch.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
So with that being said, it allowed Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to make those mistakes very early once they got rid of Kyrie.
Right.
To be the players that they are now. I don't think they are able to be them players when Kyrie's there. And I think it worked better for Kyrie and everybody else because once he went to once he went to the Nets, KD came around. So now you have two players who are like right there. Like they're both similar as far as like IQ and how talented that they are. And honestly, every time I see the Brooklyn Nets, I think the team runs through Kyrie. No matter how efficient Kevin Durant is, because he's just a monster. It's just like Kyrie he's a playmaker. Like he told James Harden to run a point and he playmakes. And I never seen him playmake like the way he's been doing this season. Like
I give it to you. It all worked out for the best. But the fact is that there were some.
How does it translate to the playoffs?
That too. And also he's looked at to be a leader. And I think that his focus is not entirely where it needs to be, even though I respect his stance and the fact that he's making his stance on a lot of things.
I have no problem with it. The band goes out and does his thing and then talk about, basketball is not really my main focus. I understand it. And you're out here winning the game.
That's what I'm saying. Like but that rubs off on players though. Like no matter how much you cool with them, like that rubs off. Like I'm working my ass off and you just happen to be that good, type shit. Like you don't have to work as long or as hard. I mean, it's just, it can rub off. That's what I'm saying. Like there's always given that room for that. And I think that it's something that can be exploited, especially heading into tough situations down the stretch of some games. So
definitely, for sure. I think as long as everybody keep an open mind, the sky's the limit with that team. So
yeah.
But yeah. That concludes today's episode, man. It was good speaking with y'all, man.
Very interesting episode.
We get back to.
I vote to not have Josu on the next episode.
I second that vote.
All right. Enjoy the rules.
Without me, this Joan would just be a yes, I agree. No, I stir it up.
At least I know I have somebody that is thinking on the same plane and that has great ideas.
That's what I like.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, it's not entertaining to watch people just say yes, I agree all the time. No.
Okay.
I
Mr.
agree.
Optimistic.
I agree, Josu. I agree.
I'm dead.
That's it for today's episode. Like I said, I'm here with my two brothers,
Your boy Joe Soup.
KB.
and we out. Peace.
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 Thanks for listening to another episode of Chalk It to the Game podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Chalk It to the Game, Twitter at Chalk It 2 the Game, as well as YouTube at Chalk It to the Game channel. You can also catch us on every platform where you can find your favorite podcast. Just search Chalk It to the Game and enjoy.